Hi there. So in this video, I just wanted to do a little bit of a longer video because we released LMPM Trust Accounting version 2.1 on Friday of last week, just before the ResFest show. So you've seen this before in terms of chart of accounts. This is generally speaking what we set up for you in terms of the onboarding process, but you obviously have control over that in settings, accounting, and you can set up whatever nomenclature that you want to use for your general ledger accounts and the general ledger settings in here. Obviously where the money comes from, where it goes to. So let's go back to accounts. We've just gone through chart of accounts. So journal entries, basically again at the granular level, seeing where the money's come from, excuse me, where the money's gone to, so that you can be in full control over that. And obviously there's all the filters that you can use here in terms of being able to get granular data out of LMPM, and more importantly, download everything as a CSV. So let's go to payments and transactions. And in my opinion, this is what I hit effectively every morning. So we can see now that we've got my show overdue button in terms of payments due. We can see that we've got a trip here, and we can just go to the statement tab and we can add a transaction really quickly to that. Let's just say that that's an ACH, and we're going to add that. And so that you can see now that we don't have any payments due. So you can see that in terms of the nomenclature here is, so payments due and transactions, it's really payments due and payments made, but in Europe the word transactions is used slightly differently. So we've continued to use the word transactions there, but we could change it to payments made. And you can see here all of the various different transactions that have actually been made. You can go into report view and say, let's have a look at the date range of July 1 to the end of July. And here are the transactions for that date range. We've got 49 transactions, a total of $109,000, and the average is 2,163. Anything that you want to do, or any reports that you want to do, you can also download those immediately as a CSV so that you can play around with all of that data. Now, processing is really important. And the video that comes after this, we're going to go into a deep dive on this. But let me just quickly show you, for example, we're just going to reprocess July. Here, we haven't closed July off. Once a month has been closed, then basically that is it. It's effectively like a bank statement. Here is us reprocessing July now, and we can see that the total stats are there's 24 bookings processed, 17 bills / invoices have been processed. Monthly management fee applied is 0. In Florida, when we were doing our tests in Florida, most of the property management companies had a $150 or $200 a month standing flat fee. For this demo site in Canada, we don't use that. And there's 11 statements generated. There's also some logs that are saying, okay, well, for this trip, processing failed on 2 Todd Street because this owner has not been enabled correctly. So this is a new owner of a property, and it will not allow you to close processing for July until we've fixed that error. And I'm going to come back to that in the next video because it's really important to go through the logs and to understand them. We try to make them as easy to understand as we can, but we know that any naming convention that we're going to use, we can definitely tweak that for each individual country as well. And so we're going to come back to processing in the next video. These are the 11 statements that have been created. So if we go in here and we have a look at this owner here, you can see the statement that's been created and the tax breakdown, etc., etc. And also you can see the history, who's requested what, who's closed it, who's reversed it, who's processed it. All of that information for the month of July is already in there. Quick access to owner statements is here. And we've now created the ability so that you can see the statements before they've actually been, well, it's just quicker access really to statements that have not been closed yet. So that's all in there. And if you want to look at June's statements, you can just come in here and see June's statements directly. So that's a really quick way of getting to statements. Statement items we've been through before, but again, this is just granular information with regard to accounting. So if we want to have a look at, say, I don't know, July for all types of information or all financial data that's gone on in the month of July, and we can download that as a CSV. I'll just do that quickly now. So that's all of that information that's being downloaded for that month of July there. And obviously once it's in a CSV file, you can do anything that you want to that file. I think the item type is more useful in the sense that you can break it down for individual spreadsheets if you want them. So in this case, this is all of the booking revenue for the month of July. This is the management fee. You can have a look at the travel agent commissions. Everything basically in that all types drop down, that we've broken down here into the various different types. So again, you can create, if you want to have a look at the total management fee for the month of July and you want to download that as a CSV, then that's how to do that there. So again, that's all the information that relates to that. Okay, so that's a quick review of statement items and how we've broken them up into the individual item types for the individual month so that you can create any report that you want. Tax reports, generally speaking, we talk to you first and garner all the information that you need for your reports for your specific region, and then we'll build that report for you. Accounts payable, pretty standard stuff. This is obviously the account balances for each of the individual vendors. And then you've got the individual transactions that make up those account balances, and we can make a payment here or receive a payment here. But I'll go through tax reports and accounts payable in a separate video. What I want to focus on in the next video is the processing and the changes that we've made to processing for version 2.1 release. So that's what we're going to do in the next video, and I'll go through a little bit more detail about how we use this log information here with regard to processing, because processing is really, really important. I mean, you have to be able to produce basically banking style data for your owners and make sure that that data is accurate. So that's why this new processing system that we've just released in terms of the user interface, we think it's really cool. We hope you love it. So I'm going to do that in the next video. Thank you.